Y'all didn't tell me. I don't know. Testing. Testing. Use it without the mic.
Without the mic?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with it.
Let me try it one more time, see how it sounds. That mic.
Yeah. The water I locked it up. Yeah, we'll just no mic. Think about it. All right. Shalom Yabashim Shabbat Thumb to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shema Al Shem Yahweh Shai to the sisters. We are Isupk Israelite School of Universal Empathic Knowledge, out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. We've been teaching the truth since 1969 that so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans of the Western Hemisphere are God's chosen people. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and that Esau is the devil that the Bible speaks of. So with that, we're just gonna jump straight into it because we got a lot to talk about today. Topic today, just real quick, it's gonna be talking about the lineage of Shem, and we're gonna dive into what does it mean to be Semitic or a descendant of Shem? Who are the descendants of Shem, right? There's a reason why we're going to be going over these things today. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. All right, Madiam, just me and the brother up here.
La Yasharala.
Amadim Aponyah HaKodam, which means to rise or stand and face the east. Begin with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw, Shabbat Shemayim,
Kodash,
Ayah,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Malakavka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Rataza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashamayim, Otaganawa, Lakam, Call, Yawum, Basalaknawa, Kabawaknawa, Kawathinawa, Bala'ah, Tabayanawa, Badasaiwan, Abal, Habashanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wala Allah, Watapara, Walalunyam, Aman. The Lord's Prayer in the English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Hakak, which is the power of the Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Babakashah.
Babakashah.
Tamanawa.
Tayyidawut.
Hakat.
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 Larapa'ah.
Labrah.
Call.
Call.
Makala.
Makala.
Wakal.
Makal.
Madawa.
Madawa.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Batahar.
Batahar.
Ha.
Ha.
Matazurayim.
Matzazarayim.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Lahaquayim.
La'aquayim.
Hamathiam.
Hamathiam.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Ayel.
Al.
Wakawa.
Takawash.
Tama'ala.
Tama'ala.
Rasham.
Regarasham.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Water.
The water.
Aman.
Aman. The power in the English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
Name Yahushai.
Please
Give
us the power.
us the power.
The power to heal.
Power to heal.
All manner of
All
sickness.
manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
The power to cleanse. The power. The power to cleanse. The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushai.
Name Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
Blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Miyaka'ala.
Wa Ma'aka'ala.
Wa Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim.
Matazab Ya'ab.
Matazab Ya'ab.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap.
Ha'alawapim.
Hasawen.
Hasaramyam.
Hakpatazayun.
Hakwatazayunyam.
Hakayayoyim.
Hachayayoyim.
Wa Ha'akwatiyim.
Wa Akwatiyam.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushai.
Yahushai.
Water.
The water. Amen. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahushai.
And Yahushai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahana.
Commanding General
The
Yahana.
generals.
The generals.
The captains.
Captains.
The officers. The troopers. And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
All. Hahoyim.
Mahoyim.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isaiah.
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 Ma'ayin.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shemayim.
Shemayim.
Baratazah.
Ratazah.
Ayathan.
Ayathan.
Lamawat.
Samawat.
Galka.
Garka.
All. And a wum.
And Wum.
Shamarka.
Shamarka. Anah.
La'ah.
Ma'ah.
And a wum.
And Wum.
Bala'ah.
Bala'ah.
Yashun.
Yasham.
Shamar.
Shamar.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka. Yahweh.
Zalka.
Sazalka. Ayad.
Yamka.
Yamka.
Yawamam.
Yawam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Bayarat.
Bayrath.
Balayallah.
Wa'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Call.
Lakal.
Rai.
Rai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Atnapashka.
Atnapaska.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'atka.
Taza'atka. Wa'aka.
Ma'ita.
Ma'ita.
Wa'ai.
Wa'ai.
I will love.
Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help cometh from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and
He
earth.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
that keepeth thee
He that keepeth
will
thee
not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
will neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade
The Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by
The
night.
Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Ahayim,
All.
all,
Damiyalaka.
Damayalaka,
All.
all,
Lakarash.
Akarash,
All.
all,
Lashakwat.
Dashakwat,
All.
all,
Kaya.
Kaya,
Kana.
Ana,
Awayibika.
Ayibika,
Yahama.
Yahama,
Yawan.
Yawam,
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash,
Ayel.
Al,
Amaka.
Amika,
Ya'ayamwa.
Ya'ayamwa,
Sabada.
Sabada,
Baita.
Waita,
Zetazawa.
Etazawa,
Ayel.
Al,
Tezapawanyika.
Tezapawanyika,
Marwa.
Amarwa,
Akawa.
Akawa,
Anakakidim.
Wadakakidim,
Goya.
Wagaya,
Wala'a.
Wala'a,
Yazakar.
Yazakar,
Shem.
Shum,
Yasharala.
Yasharala,
Awada.
Awada,
Kaya.
Kaya,
Tazawa.
Etazawa,
Laba.
Laba,
Yakaba.
Yakadwa,
Alika.
Ayaka,
Barya.
Bayath,
Yakarathwa.
Yakaratwa,
Ahoya.
Yahaya,
Adawam.
Adawam,
Wa.
Wa,
Yashmali.
Yashma'alim,
Awaba.
Baba Abba,
Wahagoyim.
Wagariam,
Gabal.
Gabal,
Wamawan.
Wamawam,
Wamalak.
Wamalak,
Alashah.
Palashath,
Amishabia.
Amyashabia,
Tazawar.
Tazawar,
Gum.
Gum,
Ashawar.
Ashawar,
Alawa.
Alawa,
Imam.
Imam,
Hayawa.
Haiwa,
Zorawai.
Zarawai,
Labunya.
Labunya,
Lawat.
Sawat,
Salah.
Salah,
Aisha.
Aisha,
Laham.
Laham,
Kamadyam.
Kamadyam,
Kasaya.
Kasaya,
Sara'ah.
Sara'ah,
Kayabyan.
Kayabim,
Manakor.
Barakal,
Koyashwan.
Kayashwam,
Shamadwa.
Shabawa,
Bayan.
Bayan,
Dara.
Darwa,
Hayawa.
Haiwa,
Daman.
Daman,
La'adama.
La'adama,
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa,
Lada.
Lada,
Yamawa.
Yamawa,
Kairab.
Karab,
Kazaba.
Kaza'aba,
Kazabat.
Kazabat,
Katazalmanai.
Katazamanai,
Call.
Kal,
Nasayakamwa.
Nasiyakama,
Ashar.
Ashar,
Amarwa.
Amarwa,
Be'arusha.
Narasha,
Manawa.
Nawa, Ath,
Nawa.
Narawath,
Alahayim.
Alahayam,
Alahayim.
Alahaya,
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa,
Gargala.
Agagala,
Kwash.
Zakwash,
Lapunya.
Lapunya,
Waka'a.
Raka'a, Ka'ash, Taba'ira,
it's like Ya'ira,
Wa,
Kalahaba,
Kalaba,
Salahat,
Haryam,
Kan,
Kan,
Taradama,
Sa'araka,
Basa,
Wabasa, Wapatka, Tabalam,
Mala'a,
Mala'am,
Yaham,
Palawan,
Palawan,
Waya,
Waya,
Bakwashwa,
Shemka,
Shamka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Waya,
Bahawa,
Bahawa,
Ayai,
Ayai,
Waya,
Waya,
Kaparwa,
Kaparwa,
Waya,
Badwa,
Abadwa,
Waya,
Daiwa,
Kaya,
Atha,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Labatka,
Aywan,
Aikal,
Haratazah.
Just read them.
You don't read them.
Just read them.
Psalms 83 in the English. What is that? What's that? All right, so Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kasan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Ored, and like Zaid. Yea, all their princes as Zabah, and as Zalmunna. Good. Hey, Shalom.
You keep going.
Okay, come on. Who said, let us take to
Let us
ourselves
take to ourselves
the houses of God in
the
possession.
houses of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel,
Make them like a wheel,
as a stubble before the wind,
as a stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth a wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute
with thy
them
tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled
and troubled
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish, that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth. Sorry, excuse me.
All right, ready?
You may be seated. All right, so we're gonna be going back to the beginning, right? Because there's this big talk. Pretty sure everybody already knows Kanye and Kyrie. You know, all the hard work that Commander General Yohana has been doing for all this time, the ISUPK has been doing since 1969, is finally starting to reach, you know, to the public in a much wider span. You can see brothers like Kanye, Kyrie. Even before that, was Ice Cube, Kendrick, Oprah, Nick Cannon,
DC Young Fly.
Yeah, DC Young Fly. What was it? Kodak Black found out he was a Levite and stuff. So slowly but surely, you know, brothers and sisters are waking up to the truth, right? But the one we want to focus on the most is this big talk of anti-Semitism. So the word, we talked about this briefly, well, not briefly, but we went more in depth of this last class. We're going to continue to go more in depth in it. The word Semite or Semitic, it comes from Shem in the Bible. They just dropped the H. Now, here's the thing. When the Jewish man today, as you know him, right? When he says you are being anti-Semitic, when any form of what they call hate speech is brought up towards them, technically, they're not wrong, but they're not right either. There's things that they're not telling you. So we're going to be covering all that today, right? So we're going to go all the way back to the beginning in the book of Genesis, which means in the beginning. It's the first book, right? We're going to talk about the lineage of Shem, and we're going to talk about the different people that come from Shem. So we're going to start from the book of Genesis, chapter 9, and we're going to start at verse 19. We're going to read the first 7 verses in the Hebrew, and then we'll give the breakdown in the English.
Chapter 9.
That should be good.
Chapter 9 and what?
9 and 19.
Oh, 19?
Yes. Should be on there.
Alrighty. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 19 in the Hebrew. Shaha Alaha Banaya Nach ama la laha napatazaha bala rana waya kwala nakha ayash damaha wayataza kadam wayashta maza hayaza wayash kwa wayata gala bata wa ahalaha ya ahala lawa waya ra'a tam abaya kana Isa ata ira rata abaya yawa waya gada lashna naya aqua ya yawa bakwa wataza waya kwa Shem waya pata ata yash slaki hash malaha wayash yam ila shakwam shana yaham waya la kwa aqua slaki akha rana yath waya ka sawa ata
Abayahum, Wapana, Yahum, Aqua Rana Yath, Wata, Abaya, Hum, Ra'awa, Waya Quataza, Nakwa Maya Bawa, Waya the I, Ata, Ashra I, Shaha, Lawa, Banawa, so like a Hakwa Taza, Waya Mara, Ara Wara, Kana Isa, Ibada, Ibadayam, Yahweh, La Aqua Yawa, Waya Mara, Bara Wara, Yahweh, Allah Haya, Shem, Waya Haya, Kana Isa, Ibada, Lama Wa. That's it.
Okay, that's it on that. All right. So we're going to start from the book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 19. And it says, "These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread." So it's going to talk about the three sons, right? "And Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard. And he drank of the wine and was drunken. And he was uncovered within his tent." Actually, you know what? Let me go to 18 real quick, Salakia. "And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth." And Ham is the father of Canaan. So this is his three sons, right? Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So we'll skip back down to verse 22. "And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness." So this is pretty much talking about Shem and Japheth. They saw their father, kind of in his indecency, and decided, okay, you know what? We're going to cover up our dad real quick, make sure he's good. However, Ham did not do that. He kind of mocked his father, like, oh, like, look, dad's, drunk and naked over there, right? So we're going to read what happens after that. "And Noah awoke from his wine," he was drunk, "and knew that his younger son, and knew what his younger son had done unto him." So he's remembering Ham. And he realized, okay, Shem and Japheth were the ones that honored me. Ham was the one that mocked me. So what did he do? And he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren." And he said, "Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant." Now, this is some confusion that some people will try to do, right? We've heard it 1,000 times. Some people will try to say that so-called, black people of the various, Americas, not just North America, Central America, South America, the Caribbean islands, they will try to confuse you. This is why it's good to know the truth about the Bible. They'll tell you that you are the descendant of Canaan. They'll tell you that you are a Hamite because in the Bible, it says Canaan shall be a servant of servants. This is what some people will try to use, like, oh, you're a slave. This is talking about you in the Bible. What they don't realize is that Israel was said to be in slavery way more than Canaan. So if slavery is the only thing you got, that ain't good enough. Mm-hmm. It's already been proven many times that we are the real Israelites. We've already been called the Black Jews multiple times throughout history. So that's just a key thing to remember because people will try to confuse you.
So which one is it? Is it Ham or Shem?
So what's your question?
Sorry. Which one is it? Like, are we Ham or Shem?
We are Shem. We are Shem. But this is why that's a good question though, because people in the world, they'll try to use that against you. They'll be like, oh, well, you're African, so you must be a Hamite. But Africa is a very big continent with over approximately 54 different countries. There's different types of people that live there. Yes, we were in Africa at one point, but when you read throughout the history, you'll know that the southern tribes, Judah, right? Judah is one tribe, right? But Judah was also in charge of the southern tribes because Israel was split. You got the northern tribes, you got the southern tribes. The southern tribes will be known as Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and I believe also sometimes Simeon. We are the dark Israelites, the dark-skinned Israelites, the black Israelites. A lot of our northern tribe brothers and sisters, not all the time, because we don't mixed in with everybody throughout generations. Our northern tribe brothers and sisters are stereotypically usually the lighter skin tone. Not always true though. We've intermixed with so many different people throughout the years. We can damn near kind of look like anybody. Mm-hmm. So, but if we're just gonna go from a typical standpoint, the southern tribes, we went to Africa. That's where we fled to. You can read about that in Babylon and Timbuktu. It talks about how the Black Jews fled to Africa because we were running away from Roman persecution. And one of the reasons why we hid there is because, well, look at Africans and look at us. We're trying to blend in. It didn't work though, because the real Hamites, they knew who we were. They were like, oh yeah, no, y'all different. They knew that we were Shemites. We'll get more into that, right? But that's a good question though, because a lot of people, like I said, they'll try to confuse you. They'll tell you, no, you're a Canaanite, you're a descendant of Ham. That's why you're cursed to serve among the world and stuff. It's not true. Canaan is in Africa right now. We are not Canaanites. Judah did procreate with a Canaanite in the Bible, but you are who your father is. So you can go to Numbers 1:18 for that. It's also in, I believe, Tobit, the book of Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12, briefly paraphrasing, where it says that you are supposed to take a wife of your father's seed, meaning somebody of your lineage. So that's why it speaks, interracial marriage is a sin. That's just a brief history on that, right? So we are Shem. That's a good question. So now let's read verse 26 again. It said, he said, blessed be the Lord God of Shem, right? Now, throughout the Bible, you'll hear the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. You'll hear that constantly. But here it says, blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And let's finish up with verse 27. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. So now, the reason why it's saying, blessed be the Lord God of Shem, is because there's a certain lineage that comes from Shem, right? Before we continue, you got anything else up?
Following off of what you said, I'm gonna ask a young man, why do you think this is important? Identity. That's a good one.
That's a good answer.
More so, all this information is important because what is a famous term that our oppressors use against us? You want to hide something from a nigga, you put it where? In a book. The problem is that they think that we're ignorant and we're not understanding of the scriptures, which the masses are. So it's important to get this knowledge into our people's heads of what they're actually using to manipulate our people. The word anti-Semitism. So we're going to the history of Shem so you can know who Shem is and what the background of Shem is. So you can't just throw around his name as a term for, endearment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you say anti-Semitism, we're going to the history of Shem, who is what? Noah's son. Now, when they got off the ark, it was only how many people was able to procreate? Only 3. You know what I'm saying? Ham, Shem, and Japheth. You know what I'm saying? So if only 3 people are able to procreate, and 3 people procreated all the nations that are in the world today, then you can't use anti-Semitism because you're pretty much saying that you guys are only ones that descend from Shem. You know what I'm saying? So if the term anti-Semitism within itself is just idiotic because there's so many nations that come out of Shem. You know what I mean? You got the so-called Negroes, you got, you got Latinos, you got Edomites, Ishmaelites, you know what I'm saying? Arabs, Asians, all these different people. So if I go to an Asian man and smack him in his face, that's anti-Semitism. You know what I'm saying? He comes from Shem. You know what I'm saying? If I go and smack a Japanese person in the face, that it should be anti-Semitism, shouldn't it? If I smack myself in the face, it should be anti-Semitism. That's why the term in general is just idiotic. And they think that we just are so ignorant to the point where we can't understand these type of terms that they put out just to try to push their narrative and push their agenda and be able to, whip any person who says that they're not the chosen people. You know what I'm saying? First of all, within itself, they try to make themselves the chosen people by adding another tribe within itself. You know what I'm saying? There's only 12 tribes. You know what I'm saying? In Revelations, it's talking about the 12 gates. That's representing the 12 tribes. There wasn't 13 of them. You know what I'm saying? So they try to add themselves as far as God's chosen, because they know that they're not within Judah. They know that that's why they have to create a term called Jewish. You know what I'm saying? That's why they have to create a term called anti-Semitism, because if you actually understand who Shem is, which the masses of the world don't, you can use that term in order, because it's not like they're lying. They do come from Shem.
Right.
But does that make you guys chosen people?
See that? I'm so Salaki. I don't mean to cut you off, but like I want brothers to like Salaki. I want everybody to listen to what this brother is saying. Like that's the confusion right there.
Right.
They'll scream anti-Semitism, but it's like they're not wrong. They do descend from Shem. And I'm about to break down the whole, like who comes from Shem, everything, right? But the thing is, notice how they don't say it. Like, if anything, if they were smart, they would say anti-Jew. At least say that.
Right.
They can't say that either.
Can't say it.
Because in their spirit, they know that they are not the direct descendants of the Israelites. But they do come from Shem, though. So we're going to talk about that, right? So I'm going to drop that. We're going to go to, I'm going to skip around a little bit, so bear with me. So we'll start with the book of Genesis chapter 10, right? So in the book of Genesis chapter 10, it says, now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood, but the brother just brought up earlier, right? Now we're going to talk about the people who come from some of their lineages, right? So right here, we're really focused on Shem, right? But you could briefly read, I'll just do a brief reading of it. The sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog and Madai and Javin and Tabal and Meshesh and Taraz, right? These are just talking about the lineages of Japheth, right? You can read the lineages of Japheth, but now we're going to go to verse 6. Bear with me. I'm going to skip around a little bit. Now this is verse 6. And the sons of Ham, right? Now these are the sons of Ham. Cush. Cush would be your some of your East Africans, like mostly Ethiopians, right? The Cushites.
What verse is this?
The book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 6.
6.
Mm-hmm. So these are the sons of Ham. So you got Cush, These who later became the Cushites. These are your Ethiopians, some of your East Africans. Then you have Mizraim or Mizraim. These are your Egyptians, right? Then you have Foot in Canaan. I believe Canaan, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's like the, I want to say South Africans. They're like in that region. They don't intermix so much as well too. So, they have their own ethnicities and tribes, right? This is why, this is what confuses people. If I could talk about this real quick. When we say we're not African, it throws people off. I mean, well, when you look at us, you think, well, you have an African lineage. If you take a DNA test, it's going to say you're from West Africa or East Africa, or Central Africa, something like that, right? What we mean by that is we're not of a Hamitic origin, because Africa was predominantly given to, I wish I brought it with me, the Babylon Timbuktu, but Africa was predominantly given to what you know as today, the Africans. But their original name, before they were African, they were the Hamites. These are the different types of Hamites, right? So the land of Africa, it's a big continent, right? There's different types of people over there. We're not saying that there aren't Israelites over there, but predominantly the population is of Hamite origin. That's their land, that's their territory, right? So when we say we're not African, what we're doing is we are separating ourselves from the Hamites, because that's where the confusion comes in. Because if we run around and start saying we're African, I'm West African, I'm this, it starts to associate with the Hamites. Now, Africans, they'll tell you, we are not the same people. Ethiopians will tell you, you are not one of us. Somalians, good night. Somalians, they'll tell you, we are not one of them. I don't want to be Somalian, right? The Egyptians, my goodness. I don't know what it is with Judah. So-called African Americans, we swear we are Egyptian. No, we're not. Egyptians had Negroes in slavery. That's documented, okay? Just like how they had Israelites in slavery, because we were the Israelites, right? There's different dark-skinned races of people, right? So this is what we mean by we're not African. We're not Hamites. You got it. That's what we're saying. So we'll go past that, right? Because what we're really focused on, we're focused on Shem. So we're going to talk about who came from Shem, right? So now, let's see. I'm going to go to, let me see, where's Shem at? Let's see. We'll go to the book of Genesis, chapter 11. I believe it's 26, okay? So the reason why I'm going to verse 26, right? The book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 26, it goes through a long list of who comes from Shem, right? But we're going to focus on certain key people. So now it says right here in the book of, the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 26, it says, and Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran begat Lot. Remember that name, Lot, right? Now these are talking about some of the descendants of Shem, right? Even just to go back, Salaki, if I'm jumping around, just bear with me. We're going to stay in chapter 11. We're going to go to verse 10. Just so we're all clear that we're talking about Shem. So it's the book of Genesis, chapter 11, verse 10. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. So this is talking about the lineage of Shem. Now, the main one I want to focus on right here, let's see. So I can go in order real quick. So we're going to talk about somebody who I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with. We're going to talk about Abram. So Abram, let me see. Abram is one of the sons of Shem, or one of the lineages of Shem, right? Now, matter of fact, brother, if I could, can you give me the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 5?
17, verse 5.
Yep, the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 5. Just let me know when you get there.
There.
You there? Okay, if you could you read that from me?
Neither shall their name be any more be called Abram,
Mm-hmm.
but the name should be Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
For a father of many nations have made thee.
So now this is talking about Abram, whose name was later changed to Abraham. You'll see that quite often in the Bible. Like a brother will start off with one name, but then his name will change, right? So now it says in the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 5, neither shall thy name anymore be called Abram, because his name originally was Abram, but thy name shall be called Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. If you look in the Hebrew, his name, Abraham, it actually means father of a multitude, because out of his seed, there were many different lineages as well, right? But it's still Shem. So we're good. It's still Shem. So Abraham, if you could, brother, could you give me the book of Genesis, chapter 21, verse 5?
Khan.
Got it? So before you read, just make sure you just announce the book and chapter that you're in. So it'll just be like the book of Genesis, chapter 21, verse 5.
Yes, sir. The book of Genesis 21, verse 5.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And Abraham was 100-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
and his son Isaac was born unto him.
So now we're talking about Isaac. So now that we're clear, Abram, or Abraham now, he came from Shem. Now Isaac came from Abraham, right? So now, it's like I'm gonna have you jump in a little bit, right? So now we're gonna go to the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse, let's see. The book of Genesis, chapter 25, go to verse 21, Baba Kasha, if you could.
Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Genesis chapter 25, verse 21.
Yep.
And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife.
A little bit louder.
Say it again?
A little bit louder.
Oh, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife
Mm-hmm.
because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived it.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in the womb.
How many?
2 nations.
Mm-hmm. 2 nations. Okay, keep going.
In thy womb. And two manner of people should be separated for the bowels.
Mm-hmm.
And that the one people should be stronger than the other people. And the elders should serve the younger.
So now we're reading right now, right? So this woman, Rebecca, she's pregnant, right? She has 2 nations within her womb, right? Even though these are brothers, right? These are twins, if you will, right? The Lord is stating that even though these are twins, even though if you really want to go down to it, these are kinfolk, these are 2 different nations of people. So if I could keep going, verse 24.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there was twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment. And they call his name Esau.
So we have Esau, right? Keep going.
And after that came his brother. Hold on. And after that came his brother out. And his hand took hold of Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac was 80, but
You got it.
80 years old when she bare them.
So now, right? Now we're reading about Esau and Jacob, right? Now, this is what I wanted to get into, right? So, because when the Jewish man that you know of today says that he is says that you are being anti-Semitic, right? What he's not wrong. Go ahead.
I would like to highlight this. Can I use that?
Yeah, you need to highlight it. Go ahead, brother. So yeah, they're not wrong. So we're reading the lineage of Shem.
Yes, sir.
Through Shem came out Abram or Abraham, as you know, right? And of course, Abram or Abraham had Isaac, and then Isaac had Esau and Jacob. But if you read out the Bible, it's always the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And another key one that people often forget, before there even was an Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, in the book of Genesis chapter 9, it said, blessed be the Lord God of Shem. Not Ham, not Japheth, not anybody else, Shem. Because out of Shem came Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? But Esau also does come from Shem. So Esau is, as you would say today, Semitic. But here's the confusion that you were getting at, if I could real quick, right? When the Jewish man today says you're being anti-Semitic, he's making you think that, oh, you know, you're being like an anti-Israelite, right? Because people who don't read the Bible, which a lot of people don't, they're under the impression that, oh, only Israelites are Semitic or Shemitic. So it must be talking about the Israelites, right? No. And I'm going to show you why, right? I read this last week. I'm going to read it again, right? So this is just this is out of the book of Who is Esau, Who is Edom by Charles A. Wiseman. So let's see. So it says the origin of the Jews. The Jews of today fall within two main types, the Sephardic Jew and the Ashkenazi Jew. The Sephardim are also known as Spanish Jews and constitute about 5% of the Jews in the world. The Ashkenazim, or the East European Jews, which are found in Poland, Russia, Germany, and Western Asia, right? So now these are your Jewish people today. But now it says right here, many reference and historical sources have unequivocally identified that the bulk of the Ashkenazi Jews, who are derived from the people known as Khazars or Khazar, right? And the Khazars or Khazar, however you pronounce it, a people of Turkish origin whose life and history are interwoven with the very beginnings of the history of the Jews of Russia. Historical evidence points to be the region of the Urals as the home of the Khazars, right? Now, this is the part that I wanted to focus on. So, right here, this is why, this is very, if I could real quick, this is why it's important to be in the truth. Because even in here, right, this is a Caucasian man, by the way. What he's saying is not wrong, but there was a few points that he does miss. So he says that, briefly, right, he says, Khazar, and let's see, the Jewish author and historian Arthur Koestler also includes that the majority of the East European Jews, and hence of the world Jewry, is of Khazar and not of Semitic origin, which is not entirely true because these are Semitic people, right? Just follow me, right? They're Semitic because they come from somebody. It's just not Jacob. It's not the Israelites, right? Not that they would like, not the one that you think they come from. I'm gonna show you why. So it says right here, as the Khazars left their homeland of Khazaria and migrated north and west, they lost their name and became known as Jews. Their Yiddish language and alphabet is not that of the Israelites, Phoenician Greek style, but an amalgamation of Aramaic, medieval German, Slavic, and Russian dialects. The best historical evidence therefore shows that the Jews are not descended directly from the Israelites of the Bible, but derive much of their ancestry from the Khazars and other people of Turkish Asiatic blood. The Khazars are also of Edomite stock. Who does Edom come from? Just take a guess.
Abraham.
Not an Arab.
No, Abraham.
Okay, so yes, Edom does come from Abraham. Who are the Edomites that you know of today? Who are they a descendant of? Remember, he had two sons. Isaac had 2 sons. Slack.
Jacob.
Not Jacob.
No.
Nah.
Okay.
Who's the other one?
Esau.
Esau. That's who they descend from.
Oh yeah, Edomite.
Yeah, Edomite. There you go. No, you got it. No, it's all good. Edomites descend from Esau, right? So they are Semitic because Esau comes from Shem. But so does Jacob. What they want you to think is when you think of Semitic or Shemitic, right? Because they dropped the H. They want you to believe that that's only talking about Israelites. So it gives off the impression like, oh, you're being anti-Semitic, you're being anti-Jew, you're being an anti-Israelite, because we are the Israelites, which is an anomaly in itself because it's already been proven by their own people that they are actually of Edomite origin. They are Semitic, but they're not the Israelites. It's not the same, right? Because a lot of us come from Shem. You got anything now, Isupk?
So with all that background, I want to ask, why do you think this is important?
Besides knowing your identity, it's the truth.
Nah,
That's the truth. But also, it gives you an insight on when people try to tell you certain things. Like, first of all, Amalek doesn't even use the Bible. You know what I'm saying? They don't even read the Bible. They read, what is it called again? I forgot what their
they
book is
barely
called.
read the Torah. They barely read that.
Yeah, they don't read the Bible. It's just like when you're trying to use a word just to use it. So if you're using this word anti-Semitic, he just went through all of the generations of Shem. So that means that technically there's a majority, there's a whole bunch of nations that come out of Shem. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just one nation. It's not just one nation that comes out of Shem. So how can we first of all, everything that is being said is that black people are the real Jews. When it's being said like that, immediately anti-Semitic. Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that only because we're saying that black people are the real Jews? Because you're not saying anti-Judah.
Right.
You're not saying anti-Israel. You're saying anti-Shemitic. So why do you go to Shem instead of just going to the source of the issue? That your issue is that people are quoting and saying that black people are the real Jews. So if that's your issue, why not just directly, attack the issue? Black people are God's true chosen people. You know what I'm saying? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are God's true chosen people. That's what's being said. So people are losing their, they're losing their contracts with certain companies, and they're losing money. They're losing all this, their notoriety and everything like that. They're being attacked on social media because what are they saying? That black people are the real Jews. So why not just attack that? Why go to Shem? You know how many nations that we just got to? We went to Abraham, went to Lot, we went to, Moab, we went to so many different nations that come out of Shem in order to get to, the 12 tribes. You have to go through all those different nations just to get to the 12 tribes. But at the end of the day, Shem has a diverse amount of, of different nations that come out of his loins. You know what I'm saying? It's not just God's chosen people, Israel. You got Edom, you got Moab, you got Ishmaelites, you got, East Indians, all that stuff like that. Like, you have all these different nations that come out of Shem. So why just say anti-Shemitic? That's not really attacking the source. Why not just say anti-Israelite? Why not say anti-Israel? Why not say anti-Jacob? Why not say anti-Judah? Why not say anti-Issachar? Why not say anti-Levi? You know what I'm saying? Why not just go directly for the source? You know why? Because they call themselves Jewish. They know that they're not actual Jews. they call themselves anti-Semitic because they can't say anti-Israel because they know they're not God's chosen people. So I believe what they're saying. Hey, if I'm attacking you, it is anti-Semitic because you come out of Shem, but that doesn't make what you're attacking me for correct. If I say that I'm from the tribe of Judah, you can't be offended by that because you know that you're not from Judah. That's why you have to call yourself Jewish. You know what I'm saying? So saying anti-Semitic doesn't make your you know what I mean? It doesn't, it's just giving you a reason to attack me in public just so you can attack me. Because you know that people are so ignorant to the Bible and these niggas don't read. You know what I'm saying? These niggas don't read. So let's just say anti-Semitic. You're not lying. You're not lying. You do come from Shem. But that still doesn't make you a Jew. Still doesn't make you from the tribe of Judah. That still doesn't make you from the tribe of Levi. That still doesn't make you from the tribe of Naphtali. You know what I'm saying? You're just attacking just to attack because you were offended that somebody put your business out there. And that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? They're attacking any celebrity or anybody with some notoriety that says that black people are the real Jews, which they're not really even getting into real detail about why they say black people are the real Jews. You know what I'm saying? We say in the Isupk under Commander General Honda that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are all the God's, you know what I mean, elite. We're God's chosen. You know what I'm saying? We're the 12 tribes of Israel. We're not going to just say we're Jews. No, we categorize ourselves within all of the 12 tribes. You know what I'm saying? And we got the documents to prove it. You know what I'm saying? So we're not just going to sit there and say, you know what I mean? If honestly, the attacks that they're putting out there, you're fighting anti-Semitic with being anti-Semitic. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
You're a person that comes out of Shem that's attacking somebody from Shem and saying that I'm attacking you because you were being anti-Shem. It's retarded. Salaki. You know what I'm saying? I meant to say rhetorical.
It's too obvious.
But it's ignorant. You know what I mean? It's an ignorant statement. It's just completely just, they try to go over people's heads. So it's important to get into the background of who Shem is, what nations come out of Shem. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about, you know what I mean, Abraham, talking about Lot. We're talking about, you know what I mean, we're talking about Isaac. We're talking about Jacob. We're talking about Esau. These are all Black people, Latin people, Native American people, Chinese people, East Indian people. You know what I mean? All these are just different nations. And not just that, they're majority of the population that are on this earth. You know what I'm saying? So all of these people come out of Shem. Right. So technically, you can say anything to anybody. I can walk into a place and, you know what I mean, slap an East Indian in the face and I'll be anti-Semitic. So why is it that when we say something, and then not just that, it's not being anti-anything, it's just edification. You're just saying that Black people are Jews.
That's it.
That's it. All of a sudden, anti-Semitic.
Exactly.
So how, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying?
If I could, real quick, I wanted to read. I read it last week. You know, hopefully this video doesn't get flagged. I don't know if it will, but you know, I wanted to bring out the real reason why they scream anti-Semitism. If I could, right? This is out of the same book, right? So this says the anti-Semitic charge, along with the hate laws, is a tool the Jew uses in defense of his offensive, hostile, revolutionary, and anti-Christian nature. If it can be insinuated that one charge with anti-Semitism is the hater and aggressor, an emotional response of the masses can be directed against the individual, forcing him into either silence or loss of status in society, business, or politics, which is exactly what's happening right now with Kanye, with Kyrie. Kyrie is going through hell right now. And the cold part about it is, right, this is how tricky, because like, this is spiritual warfare. Just so anybody knows, this is literally spiritual warfare. With Kanye, right, they try to double down on that because, you know, they try to make it seem like, oh, Kanye's crazy and, you know, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's had all these conspiracy theories. Yeah, I'll admit, Kanye, he's a little out there. I ain't gonna lie to you. He's a little out there. He's a brother in the world. But he wasn't wrong when he said that we are the real Jews or we are the real Israelites, right? And what did they do? They started cutting all their deals with him. Again, the anti-Semitism. What else did they do to him? They just pretty much they hit him where it hurts, because here's the problem with being a brother in the world of that status, right? You are a public figure to people, right? You know, you're Kanye West, right? To us, you're just a regular brother, but to everybody else, you are the Kanye West, right? So, and this is a black man, right? And what do a lot of people like to do? They like to generalize. They'll take one brother or sister, they demonize him or her, and make it seem like, oh, you know, this is the representation of the black community. So now we're gonna take everything from him. He's being racist. You know, what he's saying is wrong. Blah blah blah. But what did he really say that was wrong? I think and of course he took the more aggressive approach, right? What was it, the DEF CON, that tweet he made or whatever?
Right.
The DEF CON tweet, right? You know, and of course they doubled down on that. They got him for that, right? But here's the thing with Kyrie. Kyrie, he ain't even he wasn't even aggressive with his approach. He just posted a link. That's it, of a documentary that he didn't even make. He was just studying. And he made a very valid point in his interviews. He said, you know, I believe that history should not be hidden. He just wanted to study some history. That's all. I don't even. Was there even a clip of him saying that he's an Israelite?
No, he just posted a link to the the documentary.
Hebrews the Negroes.
Yeah, Hebrews the Negroes.
So here's the thing: Kyrie didn't even say he was an Israelite. He didn't even claim the identity of a Jew. He just wanted to study it, and immediately anti-Semitism. How? The brothers can't ask questions? Like he didn't even do nothing wrong. Now they're cutting all the deals with him. They doubling down. I seen another interview they had. They trying to get all up in his face. You know how they do. Like, oh, you know, do you think that you hurt anybody? Do you think that you hurt the community, the Jewish community? And you know, the brother's doing what he can. You know, Salakia, he's a brother in the world. He's not one West, but you know, at least he has my respect for this. He's at least trying to stand his ground, but it's hard for a brother out there in the world to do that. And he asked the question. He was like, you know, where were you at when I was a kid and I found out that, you know, 300 million of my ancestors were buried in the ground? You know, that I'm a descendant of a slave, you know, because like you said earlier, we all come from Shem, right? So wouldn't that be anti-Semitism? So, but that would be anti-Semitism. Kanye also said it as well, right? In another interview. The music that you hear today, the social media. How many slave movies do we have now? It's getting redundant. So it's getting redundant at this point. Then we got another one with Will Smith of all people. There's another slave movie.
Yeah,
you know,
Emancipation.
Yes, man.
Freaking.
That's like the perfect title for him.
12 Years of Slavery is anti-Semitism.
Yeah, 12 Years a Slave. Was it Django? Well, I like Django. It's like, but Django, was it Roots, Color Purple? Like we got so many slave movies I can't even name them all. And it's like, don't you think that that's anti-Semitism? You constantly reminding black people about slavery. We get it. We're the descendants of slaves. We don't need to be taught it every single day. When you have sisters like Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, and I can't say Nicki Minaj, I believe she's an East Indian, but to people she's a sister, right? They don't know no better. But you have our women, right, who are perverting themselves, right? You can't even watch a music video without nudity damn near in it now. Like it's like softcore pornography at this point, right? Don't you think that that's anti-Semitism? What about the abortion clinics that were pushed in predominantly black neighborhoods? Don't you think that that's anti-Semitism? What about the fact that they use Puerto Rican and Mexican women as guinea pigs for birth control? Y'all can read up on that, right? They use mostly predominantly Puerto Rican and Mexican women as an experiment for birth control. And of course, this is the guinea pig phase. So there were all types of things going wrong, right? And they were stereotyping. Salakia, it's a stereotype that a lot of our Latin sisters, they push out babies like it's nothing, which really I don't even know how that's a bad thing. They make it seem like it's a bad thing. So they were trying to make it seem like, they're just horny all the time. They can't control themselves. So we gotta give them this birth control so they can calm down, making it seem like they're an animal or something, right? Don't you think that that's anti-Semitism? And that's why I raised the question earlier. Why is it only anti-Semitic when it's targeted towards the Jewish community? What about the rest of Shem? What about the rest of Shem? We read it earlier, right? I can do a brief one real quick, right? If you could, real quick, brother, could you give me, where is it? Genesis 19 and 30. Genesis 19 and 30, right? We briefly talked about, of course, Esau, Jacob, Ishmael also, right? Ishmael was Salakia. I believe that was in Genesis 16, right? Abram called his son's name, which Hagar was his handmaid, right? I believe she was an Egyptian, because at that time, Sarai, before it was changed to Sarah, she was barren. She couldn't have kids, right? That was like their big thing. So
I got a scripture too.
Oh, you got a scripture? Okay. But long story short, Ishmael came about, right? Ishmael would be your, Arab stuff like that. They're Shem, right? They're not us, but they're Shem, right? So if you could, Genesis 19 and 30.
Genesis 19:30. And Lot went up out of Zoar and dwelt in the mountain. And his two daughters went with him.
So this is talking about Lot, right? Remember we talked about Lot earlier? So this is going to talk about the lineage of Lot. Go ahead.
For he feared to dwell in Zoar, and he dwelt in a cave. And his two daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto him, to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father.
So this is talking about, there's really no other word for it. This is incest. Okay, I can't even. My God, I'm trying to find a different word. Interbreeding, whatever you want to call it, right? So Lot, for anybody who knows, of course, this is talking about when Lot and his daughters were brought up out of Sodom and Gomorrah before it was destroyed. Would have been his wife also, but his wife decided to look back, which was an instruction that they were deliberately told not to do. But she looked back anyway, and she was turned into a pillar of salt, right? So Sodom and Gomorrah was utterly destroyed because of all of the same-sex orientation that was going on down there. So Lot and his daughters were the only ones that made it out. So they're in this cave, and his daughters are like, man, we don't got no man for us. How are we going to continue our lineage? You know what's a good idea, sis? Let's get our father belligerently drunk, and let's sleep with him. Don't know how that came about, but go ahead, brother.
Yeah, when it comes to and we will lie with him.
Yeah.
What if someone perceived it as in like lying, like telling the story?
Nah, that's not what that means. This is why it's important to be in the truth, because a Christian pastor will tell you something like that. They mean like lying, like they lied to him. No. This is talking about they you know what I'm saying? So this is what happened. So now there are going to be certain people that come about because of this. So keep reading.
I'm checking in for Riverside. Shalom of Christ.
The book of Genesis, chapter 19, go to verse 34, I believe.
And it come to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, behold, I lay yesterday night Yes, the night with my father. Let us make him drink wine this night also, and go through in and lie with him.
No, I didn't. Look, the face you're making. Look, we know. When I read it for the first time, I was like, yeah, this is crazy. So they did it twice. He had 2 daughters. But keep going.
That we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also. And the younger arose and lay with him. And he perceived not when she lay down there when she arose. That was both the daughter of Lot with child by their father. Hold on.
Yeah. Nah, you reading it correctly. You too. We're gonna read about the people that come about because of this.
And the firstborn bare a son, called his name Moab.
Moab, right? The Moabites. So Moab came from Lot, who came from Shem.
And who are they today?
Moab will be your Chinese. It'll be the Mongoloids. Yeah.
The same is the father of the Moabites unto this day. In the younger, she also bare a son and called his name Ben Amma.
A little bit louder.
Ben Amma. What's that word?
Let me see if I can find it real quick. You what verse you in?
38.
38. 38. Oh, Ben Amai.
Ben Amai.
Mm-hmm.
The same as the father of the children of Ammon unto this day.
So that's Ammon. This will be your Japanese, right? These would be your Japanese and their cousins. These would be your Asians. Your typical Asians. Of the Mongoloid race, if you will. And as you can see, they were born out of
ancestors.
Yes.
Which is the Chinese and who again?
Japanese.
Oh, not the Japanese.
The Japanese would be Ammon, Chinese would be Moab, and whoever their cousins are, like with Korean, or I think Koreans, they're more related to Japan. But yes, this would be your Asians, so to speak, right? Now, even though this is a crazy and disgusting story, so they also come from Shem. So the whole reason we're doing this class is because we want you to understand that term anti-Semitic, the way it is used is so horribly inaccurate. Because yes, the Jews that you know of today, the Jewish, they are Semitic, but they're not Semitic because they come from Jacob. They're Semitic because they come from Esau.
Mm-hmm.
That's who they come from, right? They come from Esau. But like we stated before, why is this only being shouted when it's targeted towards them? Because we can talk about other nations. Shoot, we ain't even got to talk about us. Look at what Edom does to the Ishmaelites and the Moabites and the Ammonites. Look at what he does to everybody. Like, it ain't just us. I mean, he focuses on us more than anybody else, but everybody else kind of caught the backlash as well. And a majority of them are descendants of Shem.
Mm-hmm.
So why is that not anti-Semitic?
So you edified off of the nations that come out of Shem, right? Are you edified off of what the nations that come out of Shem? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's bang on them now. Woo! Glad we got. All right, so let me get Thessalonians. That's 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Now we can get to the nitty-gritty of this situation. So why is it that when a person says that the black people descend from, Israel, why is that hate speech? You got all these people coming against our people. Well, they're using our people to come against our people, telling them that, oh, you're an idiot for saying stuff like that. Oh, you're causing harm for saying stuff like that. How is this causing harm on trying to edify black people that you descend from, Israelite culture? Why is it hate speech to a Jewish person who's not claiming that they're from Jacob? They're not claiming that they're from Jacob. They know they're not from Jacob. That's why they have to be Jewish. They're not claiming that they come out of Isaac or come, you know what I mean? Like, they're not claiming this heritage, this bloodline, and yet it's hate speech if we say that we come out this bloodline. Why is that hate speech? Why is that causing harm to a specific person who themselves will tell you that they're not from the tribe of Judah, but they are Jewish? There's something like the tribe of Judah, which they're nothing like it. So why is this causing hate speech? You got second? You got it from me? You got it?
Oh no, I got something else. Go ahead.
Second Thessalonians 2 and 3.
It's not a precept, but I got something.
So why is this causing harm to people? Let's just let me just get into the situation. Why you already got it?
Yeah, 2 and 3.
Yeah, 2 and 3.
Yes, sir.
Nice and loud, please.
They that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, near by word, neither as form us, as that the day of Christ is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means.
Let no man deceive you by any means. Go ahead.
But that day should not come.
What day?
That day.
Okay, keep going.
Except there come a falling away first. And
that day being what? That day being what? The day of the Lord's anger, right?
Okay.
The day of Christ's return. Until what? Go ahead, keep going from that day.
From that day should not come, except they come a falling away first.
A falling away first, as far as what?
People turning away from the truth.
Right. People turning away from the truth, and then not just that, people turning away from just this ideal thing that they have in general of us. You know what I mean? The programming of what we actually are. Because what they tell us, we're Africans, right? Are we Africans? No, we're not Africans. Yeah, we came out of Africa. You know what I mean? But it was Africans that was hunting us. It was Africans that was making sure that our oppressors got their job done as far as putting us into slavery. You know what I'm saying? But keep going.
Falling away first. And that man of sin be revealed.
That man of what?
That the man of sin be revealed.
That man of sin be revealed. So we won't get to that day of judgment until people actually analyze and realize that there is a man of sin. It's not this pitchfork guy that's sitting in hell that's torturing people for doing the same thing he was doing. You know what I'm saying? There's a man of sin. Who is this man of sin? This man of sin will sit there and beat our own people in front of us because they're giving us a analyzation of what actually our real culture is. Now, he's not hiding himself. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's hiding himself, because as soon as somebody comes out and says, oh, I'm an Israelite, or oh, black people are the real Jews, what does he do? Takes away the notoriety, takes away their contracts, takes away their money. Why is he doing this stuff? It's not because he's defending his heritage, his culture, because you can tell me something and I won't give a damn if it ain't true.
Exactly.
I wouldn't give a damn. You could tell me, oh yeah, well you're a female. Why would I get pissed off at that? You just called me a female. Who cares? You know what I mean? I stand up taking a piss every day. You know what I'm saying? So I know that I'm not a female. So why would I be upset about something that's not true? The only reason that you have to take someone's notoriety, that you have to take someone's money, take away somebody's contract, is because you're hurt off of what that person said, because you know it to be true just as well as that person does. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, why would I even condemn you in front of all these people? Why would I try to make you an example? You know what I'm saying?
Why would you have to defend a lie?
Why would I have to defend a lie? I mean, obviously the whole world feels like you guys are the chosen people, right? So why would you need to defend that? So go ahead and read that one more time. The man of sin.
except there come a falling away first,
Except there come a fall away first. Go ahead.
and that the man of sin be revealed.
And that the man of sin be revealed. Go ahead.
The son of perdition.
The son of perdition. So this man of perdition, the man of sin, this man is being revealed as we speak. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing into taking into heed that you I mean, you better live your life like it's about to be, you know what I mean? Like today might be the day. Today might be the day, tomorrow might be the day. Like you better start living it as if Christ will be returning very, very soon. Because this man is not just, you know what I mean, proving himself not to be the chosen people, but he's also revealing himself. You know what I'm saying? He's also revealing himself because anybody who says something that is against what his doctrine is, he wants to attack you at all means. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not even a characteristic in God's chosen people. You know what I'm saying?
And this man is the man of sin.
He's the man of sin. Why? Because you see, he's the one creating all these contracts and getting all of our people to do stuff for him to make him money, to make their people more wealthy, to make their people more rich. You know what I'm saying? Our people out here shucking and jiving, rapping and hooping and hollering, pushing out that agenda. Oh, go shoot this black man. Go out here and be a whore. You don't need that man. Get that man out your house. You independent. Go ahead and go shake your ass up in this club. He's the one that's pushing that agenda. And he's revealing himself because when you go, when you sit there and you question the contracts, when you sit there and question the actual what's the programming that is within all of our music, all of our movies. You can't watch a movie without a black person being homosexual now.
Condition.
It's like it being part of the LGBTQ community. God dang, that's 2 strikes already. God damn.
But what you
You know what I'm saying?
What you're saying is,
Yeah, you can't. But when you call it out for what it is, and you try to defend it for what it is, and you sit there and you say, just like that, that's a flag. YouTube. But what, like you said, what I'm saying is true.
exactly. There's nothing wrong. Like you're not wrong. Everything that his brother's saying right now, he's 100% accurate. It's like I don't want to cut you off.
Oh, no, you did.
But what I'm saying is, but this is how they get you though, right? The social media, the filter. I just talked to you about it the other day. I posted a video on TikTok, you know, and I'm reading a book. I'm literally reading a book. Flag for hate speech. Thankfully, the video's still up. But how is it hate speech? I'm not cussing. I'm not raising my voice. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm reading something that somebody else wrote. You know what I'm saying? I'm reading things because everybody thinks, you know, white man made the Bible. I'm reading out of the Bible.
Right.
Your Christian pastor reads out of the Bible every single day.
Right.
But when we read out of the Bible, we read what's really in here. Now it's a hate speech. You're harassing people. You're spreading hate. Somebody said you're endangering my people. How? Go ahead.
That would be funny, but they have a saying for that. Tell the truth, shame the devil.
That is a saying. Yeah, no,
that's funny because that's like really what's going on. They're at shame right now. They're ashamed of themselves, so they're trying to attack at all costs.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we're just reading. I mean, I can go open the book and see that Christ is black.
Right.
I can open the book and see that the people, the prophets, the chosen people of Israel are black. I can read that. I don't need a documentary to back that up.
Right.
Because that documentary is saying what? We're Africans. No. You know what I mean? But I can read the Bible and say that we're Israel. You know what I'm saying? That's hate speech. Why? Is because they're bound up into just one nation, which is the so-called, you know what I mean? We're just gonna call them Amalek because I don't want to get more flags on this. Because obviously they own YouTube too. You know what I'm saying? They own YouTube. They own the movies that get put out. They own the music videos. Everything. If you say anything that goes against their agenda, which is to make the black man, Hispanic man, Native American man feminine, you know what I mean? Make them part of the confusion community. Make a woman more aggressive and more masculine than any other thing. Much more whorish than anything. If you go against anything that they're talking about, their doctrine that they've been trying to push out, they're going to either try to wipe you out. If you just like any type of truth. They're gonna completely take you. What happened to what's his name, Andrew Tate or something like that?
Oh yeah, they tried to cancel him because they said that he was like, granted, just so we're clear, you know, brother's not in the truth or nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
You know, he's in the world just like a lot of other brothers, but he did say some things that were accurate. You know, how in America, especially, you know, men are being heavily emasculated, you know, and it's damaging. And he's trying, at least what he's trying to do is teach, you know, men to be men.
Push emasculation.
Yeah, right. Now, as far as that aspect, as far as that message, that much, I'll be like, okay, you know, he's right on that part. But like you said, what do? They tried to cancel him on every single platform, saying that he was being misogynistic and all this other stuff. Of course, you know, digging up some other dirt that he had going on. But the main issue that he was really trying to target was the masculinity that is definitely attacked in America. What's that saying? Toxic masculinity. What does that even mean? What is toxic masculinity, right? But like you said, these industries, these companies are owned by our oppressors. And if I could, real quick, I'm going to read this, right? This is not my information. I'm going to read this. This is, let's see, every single aspect of the media is Jewish, right? So for Sony, we got Tom Rothman. Paramount, we got Bob, it's kind of small. Bob Backish, the CEO of Paramount Global. For Fox News, you got Charlie Coyer. For Fox Entertainment, Comcast, you got Brian Roberts. Warner Brothers, you got David Zaslav Press, the CEO of Discovery Inc. Walt Disney, Bob Chapek, Columbia Pictures, Harry Kahn. Like, this is just to name a few, right? These are all of your. This is media,
right?
This is media. This is everything, and it's not owned by us. It's owned by them. That's why we brought out earlier. Y'all saying we're anti-Semitic, but like the brother brought out earlier, these companies, like your favorite rapper, 9 times out of 10 does not own his masters.
Right.
Like Kanye West for the longest, he didn't own his masters. I don't even know if he does now. Right. So they work for somebody. I remember this was like when Cardi B first started blowing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, she's blowing up, making all this money, doing the same thing that a lot of sisters do, right? And there was a video, I forgot, but like, you know, she was pretty much getting congratulated by her boss or whatever for going like platinum or something. Her boss is a white lady, right? So then everybody complains like, oh, why are y'all women always pushing out this agenda to make whores out of yourself and, you know, dress lewd and be half naked? Why are the brothers always rapping about killing each other and sleeping with another man's wife and drugs and doing lean and stuff? There was literally a video of a 7-year-old rapping about lean. How does a 7-year-old know about lean? Like, that's crazy.
Right.
But that is what's being pushed out in our community. And who runs this stuff? It ain't us. We don't own this stuff. We work for somebody who owns this, and they constantly push that out.
If you're God's chosen people, do you need to manipulate and use another nation to make wealth off of them? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this like, you got to know the devil when you see him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, 2 Thessalonians is very, very heavy. You know what I'm saying? You got to know the devil when you see him. These characteristics are not even of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? When has God ever told us to use the Egyptians so we can get wealthy? No, we went out into war with Canaan. We went out into war with Amalek. You know what I'm saying? For our territory, for our nation, for our kingdom. You know what I'm saying? We didn't sit over here and have to use them. You know what I mean? Manipulate them and put them in slavery in order for us to get our you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, they're using God's chosen to get their wealth because they know we're God's chosen. That's why they have to put out the rap of doing drugs, and you know what I mean? It's all manipulation. You know what I mean? You indoctrinate them and you make them do what we're teaching them to do. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so you know what I mean? We want you to do drugs. Okay, we want you to gangbang. We want you to kill each other. Okay, so we'll put out NWA. We'll put out, you know what I'm saying?
21 Savage.
Yeah, we'll put out all these aggressive and yeah, we don't want you guys to be edified. You know what I mean? You can sprinkle some of that up in there, but you know what I mean? Usually when we was rapping, it was just rapping about like trying to have more knowledge on whatever. You know what I mean?
Social engineering.
Right.
Yeah,
And then it got to the streets. Then it got to more and they seen that they can make $1 off of it. So what do you got? You got the movies, you got commercials, you know what I mean? All these things that's trying to get you to destroy yourselves. And they need us in order for like that's why our mental state is very, 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 very much like in just such a ball of just ignorance right now. You know what I mean? We'll go against our own people when they standing for our people. You know what I'm saying? We'll sit over here and we'll look at each other as if we're like, oh yeah, you got the nerve to sit over there and hurt another community. Okay, well, you know what I mean? George Floyd looked very hurt to me.
Right. Nobody wanted to say nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Kanye West made them
He
comments.
got hurt to death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All these people getting hurt, but I don't see these same people sitting over there standing up for our community saying, "Oh yeah, y'all hurt us." The police department is hurting our community. You don't see these same people, but as soon as you sit there and say, "Hey, watch this documentary," it's talking about how the Negroes became, you know what I mean, the Israelites became Negroes. Oh, you're an idiot. You hurt somebody. LeBron James. Oh, I don't believe in hurting people.
Was it Ahmad Stoudemire, Charles Barkley? There was a couple of them that tried to double down on Kyrie. And here's the cold part.
No, that was Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, LeBron James. All these people are speaking against certain people who just posted a link of a documentary. Didn't say anything.
Exactly.
Didn't say he even said himself that he doesn't agree everything that's in the documentary. He didn't even say what it was that he agreed with or disagreed with. But because of the title within himself, Israelites to Negroes, because of itself, it's hurting a community of people. So 2 Thessalonians is right on point with what that situation is, because you're not hurt, you're just offended.
They're afraid. They're afraid. Like, here's the truth behind it with Kyrie. It's just one example, right? And we'll close class in a minute.
Right.
The thing with Kyrie, he didn't do anything wrong, right? The brother didn't do anything wrong, but the thing is, they cannot afford for another black man, another Mexican, or another Puerto Rican, or any of the true Israelites of the Bible to learn that they are an Israelite.
Right.
They couldn't even allow for him to be like, nah, you can't even post a link to that. Like, really think about that. You can't post a link to a documentary that's not even yours. And the brother legitimately just wanted to learn something. And they're like, nope, you can't do that. Hate speech. You've offended people. Now the NBA going on, like, and the sad part was even Kanye said it. He was like, they make us fight each other.
Right.
I'm like, we've been saying this since 1969. Like, y'all think this is a joke. This is not a joke. But like you said, the man of sin is being revealed right before your eyes. And now what's starting to happen is now there's a whole bunch of brothers and sisters like, wait a minute. What's really going on here?
What's really going on?
Yeah, now they wanting to learn. And now now you're anti-Semitic. But they just want to learn too. It's too late now. Like, the truth, we keep telling y'all that the truth is going to come out. And it's happening right before you. Everybody said that, this is so I get to the men above me. This is for any, younger brothers and young officers in the truth, right? People are going to tell you crazy. People are going to tell you a conspiracy theorist. You're ashamed of yourself. You hate yourself. You believe in lies. All I'm going to say is this. Like you said earlier, why, if it was really a lie, why go so hard to defend this lie? Right. These are really God's chosen people. If they really believe that, yeah, we're the real Israelites, they wouldn't even be offended. Like you said earlier, if somebody comes up to me, somebody called me, this was crazy. Somebody said that I was Irish. It's stupid conversation. It's dumb. Anyway, I just kind of looked at them and I was just like, yeah, I'm not even going to entertain that. Just like that, right? Because I don't care. I'm not freaking Irish, right? Because it's so dumb, and I know that it's a lie. I know in my spirit that it's a lie. So I wouldn't have to sit here and defend myself from being Irish.
Right.
So if these people really believe that they were the real Israelites, these are the real God's chosen people, why are you getting so nervous? Why get all frazzled? We just read it. That's coming from your own people. Your own people are even saying. That's all I got on that. You got anything before we close the class?
Hell yeah. Nah, freaking okay. So while I'm about to get into this, can you give me let me get Revelations 3 and 9. Revelations 3 and 9. But before I, you know what I mean, I'm saying the whole breakdown of what I'm trying to say is, as far as this class being so important, because people are not going to teach you, you're not going to learn who Shem is in the Catholic Church, in the Christian Church. You're not going to learn who these, you know what I mean, people are in the Bible. You're going to learn that if you do this and that, you're going to get some money. That's all you're going to learn. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get into the history and not allow people to try to use certain words to try to deceive you. You know what I'm saying? The Bible, the 2 Thessalonians was saying, don't be deceived. You know what I'm saying? So us edifying you on who Shem actually is, you can't really use that word anti-Semitic. You know what I'm saying? You can't use that anymore. You know what I mean? And that's why it's important for our people to really, you know what I mean, study and really tune into these classes and watch these classes. You know what I'm saying? Because without this, you're not going to know who Shem is. You're not going to know why they're using the word anti-Semitic. Because really, he's not lying when he says he's not that you're being anti-Semitic. He's not lying because he comes from Shem. But that doesn't make you God's chosen people. That doesn't make you from a descendant out of Isaac. You know what I mean? Out of Jacob. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make you part of the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So really, you saying that, yeah, maybe I am talking to get somebody that comes from Shem. But at the end of the day, I come from Shem as well. So am I really anti-Shemitic? Because slavery is anti-Shemitic. Thanksgiving is anti-Shemitic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? The what is it? The Trail of Tears is anti-Shemitic. You know what I'm saying? So let's just be real about the words that are being. Let's get knowledge on what is being said, and not try to just follow up only because a celebrity tells you that, oh yeah, this man said that we part of the 12 tribes. He's an idiot. But I'm a celebrity and you're supposed to look up to me. So just listen to what I'm telling you. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Our people can't be that ignorant anymore. We can't be that dumb anymore. Look at the results of what has happened to our people. We would kill each other faster than we would, you know what I mean, even try to defend our own people. You know what I'm saying? We'll go out and just, oh yeah, he stepped on my shoe, I'm gonna kill him. Oh, he looking at me funny, I'm gonna kill him. But as soon as somebody sits there and tries to defend our people in the right way too, you know what I mean? All they're trying to just give you an edification about your real actual culture. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, this man is he's the worst person on television. He needs to be set as an example. We need to use him as an example, and we're going to take everything away from him, and we're going to use his own people to crucify him. Nah, our people it's time for us to wake up out of that ignorance. You know what I'm saying?
Can I show you something? Because when you were just talking about, I went through, I think earlier before I got here, but it go back to this with me when you talk about what it comes. Like you were saying, y'all was already talking about this, but it takes for someone rich, right?
Oh, you got the precept? If you want to read the precept, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Read the precept.
It said, when the rich man
the chapter and verse?
Oh, the chapter is
the book, chapter and verse.
Mm-hmm. It's in Ecclesiasticus.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Ecclesiasticus?
Yeah. It's hard for me to pronounce that word.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, just give me a chapter and verse.
Okay. Chapter 13:23.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When the rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he said. They introde it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what foolish is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him.
That's a great example.
You could be saying the same thing though, even before the rich dude deliver it. Not saying that he ain't speaking truth, right? But you like the whole time I've been saying this, but I guess it's you're not famous or something.
That's literally
that's a great example.
Exactly what it is. We brought this up actually a couple classes ago. That's an excellent precept, by the way. It is true because when people look at us, they think, well, who are we? We look like Mortal Kombat characters. Who are we? But then it takes somebody like Kanye, or, Kyrie or whatever, and then when they say it, and the thing is, Kyrie ain't even really say it. He just was interested. He posted a link to something. That's all it took. And now people are going crazy. But here's the thing: your celebrities learn this from someone. They might have not came directly to the ISUPK, but the ISUPK was the first to do it. So they learned from somebody who learned from somebody who learned from somebody that learned from us. It always trickles back to us in some way, shape, or form. So now, that now more brothers are waking up. The sad part is, like we said earlier, these brothers are not priests.
Right.
They're not prophets. These
Right.
are celebrities. They have money. And a lot of their money is getting taken away from them, but they work for somebody. Here, look, suffering is nothing new to us. We know all about suffering. All right. But these are brothers that have worked their way up the corporate ladder. Like Kyrie, I mean, he's an NBA star, right? Brother had to grind his way to get to where he is. And being a star in the NBA is not easy. Like, it's not easy. Now his career and his not his persona, so like his reputation is in jeopardy now because of a documentary. What you got?
Well, when it comes to that, to me, him and Kanye West right now, their faith is being tested.
Nah. It's they're being made to an example.
Okay.
Don't ever tell people what we don't want them to know. You know what I mean? Don't ever try to push people in the direction of knowing something that we have been hiding for generations to generations.
Well, what I mean by faith being tested, stripping them for their wealth.
Yeah, being made to an example.
Because they can be quiet like Snoop Dogg and go around with the show knowing the truth, but just won't try to take. It's just like going back to when dude followed the commandments, right? But then when Christ told him to put down, to give away his wealth, follow me, he was sad. I forgot what scripture that was. That's why he followed the laws. He did what Christ said do. But then Christ asking him to put down his wealth. Give it to
I understand where you're going. Yeah, that in a sense, okay, you're not wrong. Yeah, it is testing their faith, but also what the priest is saying, like, yeah, they're being made as an example. Like, these are brothers in the world. What they're saying is not wrong, but they are not. This is why we say they're not One West.
Right.
Like, these are brothers that sadly, and the thing is, I don't even blame. I'll be honest with you. I don't blame these brothers for folding. They don't have the training. They don't have that mindset or that spirit to really combat, the lies that they've been told their whole lives, because they still serve the white man. Like they still, like, Kanye still loves Esau. Like,
did I go back to the scripture when they say a person have a zeal for God but lack knowledge?
what you say?
When a person have a zeal for God, they have a zeal for God, but they lack knowledge. But they're passionate for it, but they don't have the tools.
Well, if they're passionate about it and they need the tools, they need to come to the ICBK and command general economy.
The knowledge will be following the laws, which is the Ten Commandments. That's the knowledge.
Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, that's the bare minimum. That's what we all should be doing. But like we said earlier, well, not like we said earlier, but what we're saying is following the law. That's a given. We're supposed to do that. The thing is, Satan is going to tempt you. Like, the way I put it is like this. Before you knew of the truth, before you knew that you was an Israelite, before you really learned about your true heritage, it doesn't matter how good or bad of a person you thought you were. This is for everybody, including myself, everyone. Before you come into the truth, you serve Satan. You did. We all did, right? Whether it be drugs, alcoholism, whether it be celebrating pagan holidays, making whores out of women, or sisters being a whore herself, or whatever it is, being a murderer, a gangbanger, whatever it is, right? In some way, shape, or form, we served Satan. We didn't serve God, right? Now, what's happening is you're learning your true heritage, who you really are, and what you should do. Satan's just not going to let you go. Like, I compare it to, like, Satan's like an evil ex-girlfriend that just don't, like, you left her, and now she's just bitter. She's bitter, and she got to find ways to attack you. She gotta attack you. She gotta attack you spiritually, mentally, emotionally, sometimes even physically. That's Satan, right? He is the evil ex-girlfriend, if you will, that can't let you go. So he's gonna keep trying to bring you back. He might tempt you with something we call it familiar spirits. It might be something that you might have used to do. You might have did drugs and you quit. And now all of a sudden, all your old friends come by and now they like, hey, trying to roll up real quick, whatever. And you're like, nah, I'm good. Oh, you sure? Like that's Satan right there, tempting you, right? He's gonna do it. He's going. Every brother, every sister is different.
Here you go.
Yeah, every brother and every sister is different. You're gonna get challenged in stuff that you're gonna be like, man, for real? Like really? Today? Like I know, like we talk about it all the time. Like I know for me personally, it's always at the worst possible moment. And like right when if something always goes wrong at my weakest state, I'm just like, there you go again. Here we go. But thankfully, being in the truth, I have the tools, I have the knowledge, and I have the brotherhood to be like, okay, this is how I combat this, right? This is just temporary. It's gonna suck, whatever. I'm broke as hell, whatever. But whatever. I'm still breathing, so let's just get through this. But that's all I got on that. It's like we kind of went over the time a little bit. But
Yeah.
I just want to say, the water for everybody that tuned in, Salakia. We didn't get to interact with y'all as much. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. All right. So with that, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. My name, just me and the brother up here. Oh, you can sit down for right now, brother. Sorry, me. Sorry.
La Yasharala.
Sorry, me. Sorry. Men of Israel, prepare to gird up thy loins, prepare to salute the Torah. So what we're going to do is salute the Torah. So you stand up. So not just actually going to do it first. I'm show you how to do it. So stand behind them. Back. Right hand. Right hand on the on the floor. What you're gonna say is gonna be like Yahweh, Vashem, Yahushua, Barak, Yeah.
Yahweh Hashem, Barak, Yeah.
Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barak Yah. Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barak Yah. I'll fix it.
Madim upon Yahakwadam, which means to rise or stand and face the east. Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. It's the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat
Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh.
Malak with Ka.
Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Ayah. Aisha. Barataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Latanyanawa. Lakam. Call. Yawam. Wasalaknawa. Kabawafnawa. Kasalaknawa. Kabawafinawa. Wala'ah. Tabayanawa. On the side one, above. Hawashai Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wala Allah, Watapara, Wailunyam, Aman. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem.
Yahushai. Babakashah. Latanyanawa. Hakak. Lapara. Call. Makala. Wakal. Madawa. Hakak. Latahar. Ha. Matazorayim. Hakak. La'aquayim. Hamathiam. Hakak. Al. Lakawat. Atama Allah. Regawasham. Ba'asham. Yahushai. The water. Aman. The power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it.
The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahushai.
Wa Yahushai.
Wa Ma'aka Allah.
Wa Ma'aka Allah.
Wa Alahayim.
Matazab Ya'ab. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapyam. Hasarunyam. Hakwatazayonyam. Hakayonyam. Wa Akwapyam. Yahweh. Ba'asham. Yahushai. The water. Amen. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushai. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yohana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayamya.
All.
Haharyam.
Mayan.
Yaba'ah. Azariah. Ma'ain. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayim. Warataza. All. Yathan. Lamawat. Ragalka. All. Yawam. Shemarka. Hana. La'ah. Yawam. Wala'ah. Yayasham. Shawamar. Yasharala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazarka. Ayad. Yum Ka, Ayawam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Baarath, Balala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Nicole, Rai, Yashamar, Atnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza Atka, Wawa Atka, Micah, Wa'id, Awalam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help comes from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
He that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade
The Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
the sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve
from
thee
all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew, Alahayim,
Alahayim,
all, Tamaya,
Damaya,
Laka,
Laka,
all,
all,
Thakarash,
Thakarash,
all,
all,
Lashakwat,
Dashakwat,
all,
all,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Hana,
Hana,
Awayabika,
Ayebika,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawam,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
I'll,
Al,
Amaka,
Amaka,
Ya'ayamwa,
Ayamwa,
Sawada,
Swada,
Waida,
Waida,
Tazawa,
Yatazawa,
I'll,
Al,
Tazapawanyaka,
Tazapawanyaka,
Marwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Nakawa,
Wanakakida,
Wanakakidam,
Magoya,
Magalia,
Wala'a,
Wala'a,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shem,
Shem,
Yasharala,
Yasharala, Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Tazawa,
Yatazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Alika,
Ayaka,
Maryath,
Maryath,
Yakarath,
Yakarathwa,
Maholya,
Hahaya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wa,
Wa,
Yashama Alia,
Yashama Item,
Mawa Abba,
Mawa Abba,
Wahagoyim,
Wagayim,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wayabawat,
Wamawam,
Wamalak,
Wamalak,
Palashah,
Palashah,
I'm Yashabya,
Am Yeshabya,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gum,
Gum,
Ashawar,
Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarwai,
Zarawai,
Labunya,
Labunya,
Lawat,
Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Laham,
Laham,
Kamadyam,
Kamadyam,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabyam,
Kayabyam,
Banakol,
Banakol,
Koyashwan,
Kuyashwan,
Nashamanwa,
Neshabawan,
Bayan,
Bayan,
Dara,
Dawa,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Dama,
Dama,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Nada,
Nada,
Yamawa,
Yamawa,
Kairab,
Kairab,
Kaza'ab,
Ukaza'aba,
Kazabat,
Ukazabak,
Katazomana,
Ukatazomanai,
Call,
Call,
Masayakamwa,
Nasiyakama,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Marwa,
Amarwa,
Yarasha,
Narasha,
Wa,
Nawat,
Af,
Af,
Nawa,
Narwaf,
Alahayim,
Alahayam,
Alahayat,
Alahaya,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Gogala,
Kagogala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapunya,
Lapunya,
Waka'a,
Raka'at,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Saba Ira,
Taba'ira,
Ira,
Ya'ira,
Wa,
Wa,
Kalahaba,
Kalaba,
Falahat,
Tala'at,
Haryam,
Hayam,
Kun,
Kun,
Tawadatma,
Tabadatma,
Masaira,
Basa'iraka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapatka,
Wapatka,
Bahalam,
Tabalam,
Mala'a,
Wala'a,
Hanyaham,
Palahum,
Walawan,
Palawan,
Wayat,
Waya,
Wakwashwa,
Bakwashwa,
Shamka,
Shumka,
Yahawah,
Yahawah,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Waya, Waya,
Waya,
Bahawa,
Bahawa,
Ayai,
Ayai,
Waya,
Waya,
Kaparwa,
Kaparwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Kabarwa,
Kabawa,
Waya,
Waya,
Ayawa,
Daiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Lafta,
Atha,
Ka,
Shumka,
Yahawah,
Yahawah,
Bak,
Labatka,
Aliwan,
Ayawam,
Alko,
Ayakal,
Aratiza.
Haratazah. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace.
and be not still.
And be not still.
O God,
O God.
for lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult,
thine enemies make a tumult.
and they that hate thee
They that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people
and consulted
and consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
let us cut them off from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
That the name of
may
Israel
be no more remembrance.
There be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together
They have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The tabernacles of Edom
the tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab
of Moab
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal
Gabal
and Ammon
and Ammon
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
The Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Sora also was joined with
They
them.
have hope in the children of Lot.
They had hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make their nobles like Oreb,
and like Zaid.
like Zaid.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as Zabah,
all their princes as Sabbath,
and as Zalmunna,
and as Almunah,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the houses of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as a stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth a wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute
with
them
thy
with
tempest,
thy tempest,
and make them afraid
make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled
and troubled
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
all the earth.
Shalom.
Edward, what's up? Yeah. Nah, I remember you.
That's what I meant.
That's fine.
That's what I meant.
Do the same way.